The other thing I think is really important is to start with the end in mind. What's out there long term? What are those core values, those things that are really important to you that you're always going to hold on to? And I remember I would, like sit up on the roof deck of my downtown apartment and go, what do I want? And I would just write these really simple things like, I want to work with people that I like. Now, I'm not working for jerks anymore. There's like a lot of clients that were just like, I don't want to do that. I want to revitalize downtown Los Angeles. So I think it's most important to really take the time and do the soul searching of what is important to each of us and try to find that path and make that path. Again, I didn't do a business plan. I didn't know exactly what the organization was going to look like. So I said, these are my really important things. These are the things that are important to me. And I'm just going to open every door that I can. And if on the other side of the door, that's the right direction for those things, I'll keep moving forward. So it's not a standard kind of business plan method. And now being 40 people, we're taking much more traditional methods of organization. And because my kind of organic way that was very successful in the beginning is still the driver of where we're going, but now we really need structure. For example, it's structure for communication, which is something that I don't think I had really thought about before. When you get to that many people, you really need to have a structure of how you communicate, when and where, in one fashion, So we have, for example, one-to-ones that are required between, especially leadership group and like managers, and then also managers with like team leaders. What are the challenges that you're dealing with this week? They will discuss that, and then they have to leave with what are the action items? Like, what did we just talk about, and what did I say I was going to do? So that there's a way to have accountability. And then the next week when they meet again, then the leader can say, oh, okay, so the form says you were going to do blah, blah, blah to deal with that challenge. How'd you do? And then they'll be like, oh, crap, I didn't get to do it yet. And I still have this challenge. Oh, okay, well, action item still stands, And then next week when they meet again, you better have that thing done. I mean, it sounds like a stupid thing, but on one hand, it helps people say, oh yeah, what challenges am I having? Because we're all just like running through our day so fast, we don't even have time to think about what's happening or what we're doing. So forcing yourself to stop for a second and go communicate with yourself first of, oh yeah, I guess this is a challenge. What can I do about this? I don't really know. Maybe this, maybe that. Oh, and tomorrow I have my one-to-one, so I'm going to talk to my team leader. And then they're always going to be more experienced and say, oh, well, let's, why don't you try this? Yeah, you have your standard organization chart, but what we're doing is something much deeper than that. And actually, I have to credit the book Traction. So instead of just looking at an org chart as an org chart, looking at it as an accountability chart and really thinking about who's in what seat and who's accountable for who. Because everybody needs to know what you're accountable for. And the bigger that you get, even more so. When there's only 3 people in an office, it's pretty easy to know who's responsible for what and who's accountable for what. And they have to do it, otherwise, there's not gonna be any work. But as you grow, you really need to have structures to a lot of these things.